What's up, Teen Gamertag? Welcome to Mail Monday, a weekly series that's about your questions and my answers to them. Let's get going. How to get a wife that retains her hotness. I know this sounds shallow, but one of my main fears is marrying someone who then becomes less attractive and puts on weight over time. I've noticed you've done pretty well for yourself, thank you, and I was wondering if there's anything to look for when finding someone. I appreciate my shallow subscribers. I get that. I see where you're coming from. I think you'll learn as you age that looks aren't everything, that what's inside matters a ton. I'm gonna go. There's another question about finding the perfect person, and I'll cover this more. Anyway, body types that do well, the skinny type, right? Think about what a surfer girl looks like. Think about what a bookworm looks like. Picture that like super nerdy, not necessarily top-heavy girl. Kristen Stewart from Twilight. I just saw her picture this morning. That's the kind of girl, that Harry Potter chick, whatever her name is. That's the kind of body type that does really well with age. That thicker, kind of rounder girl with the hips and the big boobs that looks so incredible at 19 has a much harder time maintaining that incredible look at 39. So that's the body type that holds up really well. The other thing to look for is their mother. And I thought that was crazy. I heard that when I was a kid and I thought, no way. The girls in my life, they buck that trend because, they're never way they're going to look like their moms. But truth is, that's not a bad tip. That's not a bad tip. I thought, look at this 19-year-old. She's so hot. She's never going to look like that mom. And trust me, there's a way that can happen. So the skinny girls, look at their mom, and then that basically covers it. Oh, here's the other thing I want to throw in. Your leadership. So have you noticed that couples kind of match each other in their like hotness scale? That's partly because, and I'm talking about older people. That's partly because when they match up, they pick people who are in their own hotness scale weight class. But the other side of it is this: they eat the same thing. And here's where you can come in. If you want your wife to be hot, why don't you tell her you want a house that stocks broccoli instead of potato chips, or you like to snack on carrots, or something that doesn't turn you into the big person that you don't want to be. So that's the other part of it. Your leadership. If you sort of set the tone that you want to have this fitness weight class in your family, then you're likely to get hotter people, mom, kids, etc. There you go. For sensitive listeners, this next question acknowledges the existence of sex without getting graphic or anything. So if this isn't your cup of tea, then you can click away now. All right, wouldn't be Mail Monday without a sex question. Hey Woody, I'm 17 and I have this beautiful, gorgeous, amazing girlfriend who's 16, almost 17, and we've been dating for 3 months. She's the girl who I lost my virginity from, but she lost hers to someone else before me. It doesn't bother me. It used to, but it does. Anyways, we've had sex several times now, and I'm getting the hang of it. I think, haha. And I'm starting to get the hang of lasting longer in different positions and whatnot, but every time we're finished, she doesn't seem satisfied. She says it was fine, and I'm pretty sure I haven't made her orgasm either. But she has her boundaries, which I respect. She won't let me use my fingers down south or go down or stuff like that. And I just want to make her feel satisfied and not just fine, but I still want to respect her boundaries. She's had more experience with sex, and I haven't, and I want to satisfy her. Any help? P.S. Thanks so much. Sorry for a sex question. Sorry for a sex question? You must be new around here. Let's get started. I often shy away from sex questions that clearly come from people who are under 18, but this gave me an opportunity to preach the condom thing. The benefits that they nail you in school about, right? First of all, number one, no babies. If you guys are 16 and 17, you're most definitely not ready to have kids yet. The other thing is the STD thing, which I'm imagining is not a problem in your world, but no babies, no STDs, that's a really good thing. The other part is the sex performance thing. If you're new to sex, and clearly you are by your letter, then it's going to help you last longer. It desensitizes you a touch, and it's just one less thing for you to worry about. When a guy heads towards the finish line there is this sort of moment of no return where even if you stop right now, it's going to complete its journey anyway. And tooling all that out and getting it good, dude, wear a condom so you don't have to worry about that sort of thing, and you'll be okay. And like I said, you'll last longer, and that will help you achieve your primary goal here, which is to help her get the level of satisfaction that the guys get almost every time. In addition to that, there's more. So, for a guy to reach completion like this, it's mostly just a level of physical maturity. For a girl to achieve that same thing, it's not just physical maturity. There's a physical maturity, there's an emotional maturity, there's a cycle thing going on there. There's a comfort level with, you know, the place that you're doing it, the guy that she's doing it with. All that sort of stuff has to be in line for the girl to get the same climax that a guy does. And it's possible that she just hasn't reached that yet, and it's not your fault. It's possible that you know, in her headspace, maybe she's not comfortable with something about her body, or you know, it's some sort of insecurity that distracts her and prevents her from getting the kind of glory that guys get every time, nearly every time. So that's that. But that's not why you called or wrote. You know, the real reason that you're here is you're looking for some sort of mechanical advice. And let's start with Google. Google's your friend. Look up clitoris. Figure out what it is, what it looks like, and where your girlfriend's is. They're all in the same spot. They're sort of at the top there. Looks like a man in a rowboat, kind of, sort of. And that's the thing that needs some sort of stimulation, whether that be like a rub or pressure or I don't know. That's your thing. Now, she has some rules that prevent you from, you know, that are going to take away some of the tools that you could employ. But if you're having sex and you're missionary, you can press your pubic bone against the clitoris. That's where the stimulation happens. If you give that thing some sort of pressure, you don't need a lot of travel time as far as the intercourse goes. That's part of it, I guess, kind of, sort of, for the girl. But you know, the major component in bringing in the finish is that pressure on the clitoris there. And you know, even if you just move in an inch, even if you just move in a centimeter, and you're sort of, you know, rhythmically pressuring that thing, that'll get the job done. So that's how girls are built. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Oh, and by the way, a good resource for figuring out like what girls really, really like is not porn. Porn is really about visually stimulating guys and not physically stimulating girls. There's a mix of both in there, of course, but you know, if you're looking for a how-to guide, you should really open up clear lines of communication with your girl and not, you know, spend your time on porn sites. That, like I said, that's visual stimulation for guys, not physical stimulation for girls. Part of the 4% is pregnant and 15 years old. Dear Woody, I'm a huge fan. I've been watching all your videos since Black Ops came out. Here's my problem. I'm a 15-year-old guy, and I'm having a thing with a girl at my school. We talked about it for ages before we decided we both wanted to have sex. So I bought a condom, and I brought it to a party we were at together. We were both really drunk, and we did it in a bush in the host's back garden. When I went to throw the condom away, I realized it was ripped. 2 weeks later, she missed her period. We went out and we bought 3 home pregnancy kits, all of them positive. I'm really worried about what my parents and friends will think, as well as ruining my grades at school and not going to university. I haven't told anyone yet, not even my parents. Please help me, Woody. All right. Sometimes I pick letters like this just to give me an opportunity to let people know about potential mistakes that they're making. You know, one of the results of teenage sex is this: you guys are incredibly fertile, right? You're very good at turning sex into additional population. That's what freaking teenagers excel at. You guys are out there, you're baby making machines. And you know, you hear about these couples that are having a hard time conceiving. Oftentimes those couples are not 17, right? 15 and 16, man, you're playing with fire. I know that he used a condom, but he used a condom drunk in the backyard in somebody's garden. That's, you know, you're going to have a higher likelihood of breaking in a situation like that. Plus, you're 15, you probably barely know how to use one. So now you have a decision to make. You and your girlfriend will probably talk about this together, and you can keep it or not keep it. And if you decide to not keep it, that can mean 2 things. That can mean adoption or it can mean abortion, depending on your belief system. One thing you do need to do is you need to tell your parents. They're not going to be happy with you. There's no doubt about it. But if you haven't learned yet at 15, then you might as well learn now. Bad news does not get better with age. It doesn't matter if that bad news is a test grade, a report card, a pregnancy, or a dent in your mom's car, it's not going to get better by waiting 6 months to tell them. Bad news ages poorly. It just gets rotten and disgusting and worse than it was previously. So you need to bring your parents in on the loop and let them know. If you decide to keep the baby, your parents and her parents are going to be hugely impacted. It becomes kind of a community baby, because 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds, they're not, I don't know where I'm getting 16. 15-year-olds are not capable of starting a family yet. You know, not in maybe if you were Native American Indians back in hundreds of years ago, you could have been, but right now you're not there. You're not there. So you can't provide for this kid. If you're in school, you can't watch the kid long enough. You've got issues on your hands that you need parents to help you with. And you know, like I'm telling you, it's not going to get any better by hiding it from your parents. So here's your next step, dude. Number 1, you and your girl talk about it and make an adult decision. Make an adult decision about what your next step is going to be. And then 2, consult your parents and get some feedback on where they think you should be going with this thing, and get the support that you need. That's your next step. That's where you have to head from here. So it's deep, man. Like I feel for you. I wish there was some easy way, you know, to solve this thing, but you can't get unpregnant. And you know, if those over-the-counter pregnancy tests are very, very accurate, and if she passed it 3 times, she's making a baby, man. That's your new reality. So consult with her, decide what you're going to do with this thing. If you decide not to keep it, they're both hard decisions. Keeping it is a tough decision because you signed up for a kind of workload, a 24/7 workload that you've never heard of before. If you decide not to keep it, you signed up for a lifetime of wondering, of you know, this kid would have been 9 years old about now. My kid would have been 13. I wonder if I would have had a boy or a girl. Or if, you know, through adoption, you just sort of think about it and wonder what would have been. Both situations are rough. Best of luck, man. Best of luck. All right, if you're new and you like the video, subscribe in the top right. All of you can click like if you liked it. On the right, how to get Black Ops 2 early. On the left, Spouse Saturday, which was, you know, just a late version of Wife Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed the video.